Hey guys, welcome to another episode of East Coast Rams Podcast. I'm your co-host here, Ashton, with my awesome co-host Zach, and we got special guest Dak here. Just want to say, everyone, happy playoffs! It is finally here. A very interesting up and down roller coaster of emotions, or glass box of a season. We can put it that way, and we'll talk about all that stuff. But first off, how are you guys doing? Specifically, Dak, how are you doing? You want to go introduce yourself to the audience and let us know a little bit about why you became fan and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Dakota. I met these two gentlemen kind of, at the Indianapolis game when we were on an away trip, and so we got to know each other through there. And I became a Rams fan. I kind of grew up in like southern Missouri, like Bolivar area, and so I just kind of you know liked them and stuck with them, and so that's just kind of where I am with that.
Stuck
Been
with
a
them
big
when they were
fan.
in the St. Louis Rams, right? So that's where you
Yes,
started.
sir. Yes, sir. And I was born in '95, so I mean, started watching ball in like '01, 2000. So I
Yeah, and ever
appreciate
since
Yeah,
we
having
met,
me on.
Puka's.
I said ever since we met, I've been to I think what 4 games with you now, Dakota. So uh,
Yeah,
it's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride so far.
yeah. What's your guys' combined record at those games?
Like together,
I don't want
like him
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I.
together.
2-2. I think it's 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mm.
think we're 2-2. Yeah, because I'm 3-2, like all together, and I've only not been to one with you. I think so. Actually, no, 3-3, because I don't really count the Kansas City game because Bryce Perkins was under center, so I don't. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I mean,
I
It,
still
you
count that.
you wanted to see Bryce Perkins?
No, I already
Ugh,
bought the tickets. The tickets were already bought with like
uh,
me and my buddies. I
that's
live here in KC, and it was. I mean, that was the 2002 shit show. The
yeah, 22. Yeah.
worst season to ever, follow up a Super Bowl. And so we're on the wrong end of history when it comes to that.
oh yeah.
Yeah, you mean you
Uh,
didn't love Clay Matthews? Is that what you're saying? Was that Clay Matthews' year or was that 2019? I forget.
Yeah,
We had terrible seasons at Super Bowls.
that was like the
it was
Dante
after that.
Fowler days and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But back then,
But hey, the Rams are in the playoffs now. And so it's really
Sure.
exciting that we get to talk about this. There's a lot of things that happen. One of the things, I mean, going through these last few weeks is we didn't know what seed we were going to be for the longest time. I felt like every game was against the Rams for the last 2 weeks. Anything that we needed to go our way would not go our way after best efforts, which just shows every team you have to play to win for yourself. You can't worry about what any other team is doing. If you don't do well, it's your own fault. Don't blame anybody else's team for losing. Um, but yeah, fifth seed, not bad. Better than sixth
Uh,
seed for sure.
I mean, I'll just start this off with saying I think going into this season, both me and your assessment, Zach and Dak, can kind of go into what he thought preseason and how they matched up. But we were pretty in alignment. We thought this team could be something special. And I think the ironic thing out of the season is they did turn out to be very special. But the amount of times this team lost games and shot itself in the foot when all they had to do was if you actually combine the amount of minutes where if they just play average football, just average, and they get the 1 seed, it's probably 9 minutes or 8 minutes of combined football over the entire season, and they get the 1 seed. So I I think I kind of mentioned this last pod. They kind of did this to themselves. They deserved to be the 5 seed and go on the road the first game. Now, the question is, can they respond? And can they respond without having to go down and get in bad circumstances? Or when they go up, not collapsing? Like this team has not put together 4 quarters against a good team all year. They've done it against bad teams, they haven't done it against good teams. I mean, you could say the Jags, but the Jags were in a really bad spot when they played that game. So, like, for the most part, they rarely played 4 good quarters all together against good teams, and they gotta be able to put that together. And, Stafford has to go back to his clutch ways, and we kinda saw that a little bit, against the Cardinals in the last week, but, they proved to be what we thought, Zach. They just also had a lot of holes, and they let those kinda weaknesses lose them games, and it's playoffs, and you can't do that anymore. No margin of error.
Yeah, and Dak, I'm going to throw it to you here in a second, but really the downfall not the downfall, but the Rams really hit the wall at that Carolina game. That's really when we started seeing the wheels kind of fall off a little bit. You saw a defense that was keeping teams outside of a few games under 20 points. They were playing elite. They were getting many takeaways, things like that. The Rams offense was scoring like no one's business. They were, the second best scoring team in the league. Then you get to Carolina, things fall off the wheels. Stafford throws, what was it, 2 or 3 picks. One was a pick six. And, things went down from there. We came back and won against Carolina or the Cardinals kind of big that week. But then we had a toe-and-toe battle with the Lions. And so but then we go on 2 loses after that. So Dak, what has been your kind of overall feelings towards this Rams team, going through the first 18 weeks of the season?
I mean, I would agree with like Ashton in terms of like we kind of just even when we were healthy, like even I mean I know you're never going to be fully healthy. Like Akella went down week 2, but even when we were fully kind of healthy with like our main guys, it was still kind of like you still kind of sometimes saw like third quarter lulls or just what have you, or little spurts on the offense or on the I wouldn't really even say the defense because that only started like going downhill when Quentin Lake got hurt in the Seahawks game, and luckily the Bucks are that bad to where Emmanuel Forbes played out of his mind in the Bucks game after that Seahawks game. So luckily it kind of masked it a little bit, but I mean I think it's the injuries for me have kind of been the part that's kind of derailed like the actual season, in my opinion. Not derailed it, but kind of set it back a little bit, like in terms of not expectation, but it's like, all right, we know we know what our flaws are. We know what's kind of going to come about sometimes. Like we know our weaknesses a little bit, but we also know our strengths. And I think we're going to get Devontae back. We're going to get Quentin Lake back. We were missing in the Atlanta game. We were missing Alaric Jackson. Dotson got hurt. I think Dotson's arguably our best offensive lineman, our highest graded one at that. And so
highest graded guard in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you're missing that, I like Dedich. I think he can come in and be serviceable, but I don't think he's clearly not K-Dot. And when you're missing your right guard, it's going to affect things. And I don't think we're going to have him back this week against Carolina, but hopefully the next week after that, if we're fortunate to kind of get there. But I think once we get healthy and everything, like which we are this week with Devontae and Quentin Lake, which are huge additions to both sides of the ball. And so I think that'll ultimately culminate to kind of, it may take a quarter or two just because, you want to see the rhythm kind of get back involved with it all, but you want to hope that practice has done that.
Yeah. I think you look at this and you look at what we did this past week. It was a slow start, kind of to what this game is, and we'll kind of break down a little bit about the Cardinals game. But the best thing about this is that we're getting our reinforcements back when we need it the most. Obviously, Dotson is going to be a question mark. If you look at the injury report as of today, Wednesday, K-Dot, Jordan Whittington, Terrace Ferguson, and Josh Wallace all are considered did not participate for the last 2 days. Josh Wallace was put on IR, so he's going to be out. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we do if Terrence Ferguson can get in, because I really think that's a weapon we need. I want to see Ferguson, Parkinson, and Higbee out on the field with Puka and just wrecking shop. I think that kind of 13 personnel is what the Rams are going to just eat everybody's lunch with.
I do think Ferguson is like outside. I do think McVay thinks this too. I think like outside of Puka and then Tay, I do think McVay thinks that Ferguson is the next best matchup, like mismatch on within the personnel, and so I don't think we should rush him back especially if it's just like this. We don't know the severity of the hamstring, but I mean I think we can like if he's got a rest this week, I with Higbee back and with Davis Allen and Parkinson and Tay back as well, I think he should sit if he needs to. I don't think we should just like rush him by any means. I don't think they will.
I mean, the problem is that this is it. You win or you're out. I mean, if you win, you're in. You keep going. You lose and you're out. And you need to put everybody possible.
I think we feel like we have enough. Is what I feel like. And I mean, if he can go, he's going to go. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we're going to roll. But if he can't go, then...
They thought they had enough last time against the Panthers, and it did not look pretty for most of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about this Rams team that is different than I feel like in past years is that the Rams seem to be able to come back from behind. They've been losing only 3-point games outside of one. And, a lot of times they've been down 2 or 3 scores and they've been able to come back. That's been a Achilles heel for the Rams, I feel like, for a long time, is that they can never get themselves back into a position to win the game over the last several years. It has to be, we're going to lead the team, or we're going to lead and win that way. But the Rams have shown that they can take a deficit and come back and at least make it, like I said, a 3-point game compared to, a 14 deficit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the weather on Saturday is supposed to be 74 degrees, but 75% chance of precipitation. So it's most likely going to rain. It won't be freezing cold like when I went to the game. It was like 35, 40, very windy and raining. So at least you won't have like the discomfort part. Like, again, I don't think we lost because of the weather in that game. I think a big part of losing that game was not sticking to the run and the turnovers, forcing you having the pass against a team that now, like, their secondary is way more healthier. So you're especially not going to be able to pass as much as you were able to last time we played the Panthers.
Well, you look at some of the stats and, the Rams are 4th best in play action. Well, guess who's 4th best in play action defense? It's Carolina. So, they have a good defense against what the Rams are kind of scheming for.
Everett's
on top
good,
of that,
man. He's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is that there's 4 players on the Carolina's defense who are former Rams players who kind of, know a little bit about how that system is ran.
Ejiro Evero, their defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's familiarity all up and down the field and the staff. You know what I mean? Roseboom starts for him. I mean, it's gonna be tough, but I think Tay being back will be massive. I think Quentin Lake back will be massive. It's like I think if we come to play, I think we'll be all right. But I don't want to jinx anything.
That's the interesting thing about the NFL that, like, people don't talk about enough is every game, the second it starts, is its own entity. It doesn't matter what you are on paper. It doesn't matter what has happened before that. Events happen in the game on their own, and it situations and storylines in the game develop and go on. It doesn't care about what your record can be as high as it is, but if you just have a snap that goes over the QB's head and you go down 7, 14, 20 points because of fluke plays, doesn't matter if they're fluke plays, you're down 20 points now in playoffs. Like, anything can happen. You gotta play like to your best capability, and that's where like the more consistent teams or the teams that are also more healthy tend to do better in the playoffs. Typically, right?
I mean, all of our losses have been like, if you add them all up, the differential is 17 points. So it's like we've been in, like, all of our losses have been like absolutely, I mean, gut wrenching, obviously, but I mean, I don't think we let any of it. It's hard for anyone to beat a team twice in the NFL, and I mean, I think if we just like stick to our game, like if we just execute, like that's all it comes down to is execution. And I think like while they're talented, in some areas, I think we're just better.
Yeah, there's a chance we would also have to play like 2 or 3 teams in the playoffs that had beat us too. Like could play the 49ers and then like Seahawks after that. That could be a scenario that happens.
I mean, you look at the Eagles as well. I mean, like there's lots of scenarios. I mean, outside of the Bears and the Packers, those are the only 2 teams that we haven't faced and lost to so far. So
well, and one of those 2 teams will take care of each other this weekend, right? They play each other. So
yeah, they do.
I mean, we'll see if we take care of Carolina like we should. Then I mean, I mean, our good thing is that we have a quarterback that played well against all of those teams that we mentioned that we, it happened to take an L to. So like Stafford.
Let's talk about Stafford for a little bit. I mean, he was the NFC Player of the Week. He was the 2025 season leader for passing yards for 4,707 yards. He was also the touchdown leader with 46 touchdowns this season. No one was even close to matching him. Putting on that MVP, those MVP stats pretty well, going up against a young, mobile Drake May. What are you guys' thoughts about this whole MVP race? Stafford, I mean, gotta love that we have a veteran quarterback who is elite enough to take on 2 of those season leaders. I don't think I would want anyone else leading the troops.
Go ahead,
Ashton. You can go first. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I just look back at the stat that says a QB that has thrown 45 or more touchdowns has won the MVP with, I think, less than 10 interceptions every time. Yeah. Every time. So I think the only time someone didn't win it was when someone else, they threw 46 and I believe
Drew Brees.
They threw 40. Yeah. And someone else threw like 45 but had a better ratio
Rodgers had like 45 and 5 or it was something crazy.
Yeah, 45 and 4 or something like that. But it really is one of those things where you see the way he prepares and way he executes in the games, and like 90% of the games, just how he has played. The stats show he should be the MVP, and you know this, Zach. I'm a big Drake May person. I think he has played a great year. And in a normal year without like Stafford with the stats where they are, I would say definitely give it Drake May. He totally worthy. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't have MVP-like numbers. He does. But when you compare the 2 schedules, when you compare what Stafford has done, the fact that he has 11 more touchdowns, you can't just take that away from Stafford and magically pixie dust like, oh, if I take away all his 1-yard touchdowns, Stafford still has more touchdowns.
Yes.
He still has more 20-yard plus touchdowns than May does. So
5 touchdowns against the Jets.
Again, it's so stupid. You're playing against NFL talent, and it's not like Stafford hasn't been pulled a few games. It is what it is. I just think Stafford stats speaks for themselves, and Pat fans are going to just have to get over it. Like, I thought it was kind of ridiculous to crown May like the MVP after Atlanta anyways. I thought it would have been a competitive race between the two, but given how the last week ended, like, Stafford looks like he should kind of run away with it. And I'm not here just to give like credit to our players that don't deserve it. I'm not going to sit here and say like Ferguson should win Rookie of the Year. He shouldn't. So, I'm going to be honest when I think of players. Awards are awards. I really don't care about them. I hope for his legacy he gets it, but ultimately it's an opinion thing, and people are going to have their opinions about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's as simple as, when you culminate like week 1 to week 18 and you put the entire thing together, the dude had led the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns. The best passing touchdown to interception ratio. I don't care what you want to say about those 1-yard touchdowns or touchdowns inside the 5. Like, that's the most condensed area of the field. Like, that, it's harder to do that in that area. And we're talking about no looks left and right. Like, the dude's an alien. And you can't, these Patriots fans, I don't even want to talk about Drake May, because we're here to talk about Stafford and why he's the MVP, and which he will be. But so I don't see it's as easy as that. You can't lose to the Raiders week 1 and expect to be the MVP. It's that simple. Stafford doesn't have a loss like that. I don't care what you say about Atlanta. They're a much better football team than Vegas. That's just you. Like Ashton said, the kid had a great season. Great season. But guess what? Someone else had a better season. That's what it takes.
And he had a better season against better teams.
Against better opponents. And Drake May had a top 10 historically easiest schedule. And you don't choose that. No one chooses that. I get it. And he lines up against who he lines up, and he's still playing well against these defenses, and those are pros too. I get all of it. But I'd be hard pressed to think if you gave we're gonna see next year when the Patriots have this first place schedule. And I've seen the projected strength of schedules for next year, and they're up there with I think it was 0.514, which to put it into perspective, this year was 0.314 for them. And so we got to play the Jets in Miami twice a year. Shoot, man. It's look at our division. 3 teams in our division had 12 wins or more. It's
and the Cardinals should probably be at 8 or 9 wins.
The Cardinals are a much better
6,
team than the
7.
Jets. You want to take the Jets, the worst team in their division, and take our worst team in their division, and look, the Cardinals would wipe the floor with the Jets. You know what I mean? You got to play the Jets and the Raiders all year. You know what I mean? Outside the 2 Bills games. The Bucks game, they didn't even have Bucky and Mike Evans. So I don't care what you want to say about that. If sure, it's in Tampa Bay, it's a good win, on the road, but it ain't the dude went into Seattle week 16 and threw, not week 16, week 17, right? Or what week was that? Week 16. Week 16. I had it right.
16.
But he threw for almost 500 yards against a top 3 defense in the league, the second best defense in the league behind the Texans, in my opinion. So, that missed me with any of that Drake May stuff, for real. It's just hogwash.
So moving on from our QB leader, let's talk about his weapons. Because, with an MVP, you also need, with an MVP quality quarterback, you need some pretty great weapons. And the Rams do have 2 of those, with Puka Nacua, our 2025 season leader with 129 receptions. And then you have our Devontae Adams with 14 receptions as the season leader in the NFL for that as well, missing 3 games as well. So being able to do that and still, not even playing the last, 3 games, it's pretty good. Pretty good team to have. And they're back in action.
Yeah, and you can't fault Stafford for any of that. You know what I mean? Like it's not his fault. Like that's his personnel. You know what I mean? Like, so what? Like the dude without that dude, like I'd be hard pressed to think that Jimmy would be, that we'd be what 13 or 12 and 4, whatever, without or with Jimmy. I don't think we would be. So
yeah, but he has a good cast, and Ashton, go ahead.
Diggs is good too. You know what I mean? Like they have good players too. They want to talk about, oh well, Stafford has all this glamour around him and the best play caller, and it's like, I mean, the dude's got Josh McDaniel, a longtime play caller, Super Bowl winning play caller. You know what I mean? He's got Stephon Diggs. He's got one of the highest graded receivers in football. He's got weapons. He's got 2 decent backs. He's got. He's made do. He's made do with it, but I think
you saw Bryce Perkins play under McVay, and McVay doesn't have pixie dust that makes the quarterback play like Tom Brady. Like, right. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, you also have to think, like, Stafford has also been utilizing Mumfield, Xavier Smith, Parkinson,
Jordan
Davis, Whittington, Tutu Atwell. Like, again, like, yes, we have Devontae Adams and we have Puka Nacua, but they're not on the field a lot of the times. He's throwing to other players as well.
And it's how he's doing it. It's how he's doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I don't know how you can just put on the tape. Just put on the tape of both of them. It's clear as day who's better.
Yeah. I think so.
But going back to Devontae and Puka, and I said this like when I previewed when we previewed the wide receivers and when I went on that fantasy podcast, I thought it was pretty clear. Like Puka is the top 5 wide receiver coming into this season, and I said, and both me and you agreed with us, Zach. We thought all those extra touchdowns going in the red zone and that we were trying to throw to, like to D-Rob and all those extra guys, with Devontae, we knew he could fix a lot of our goal line issues, especially if our run game kept up the pace. And that kind of came to fruition like very easily. And the fact that Devontae finished with the TD leader, like, and the fact that he missed 3 games, just fantastic work by him. We do have gripes. It took him a little bit to get stuff going and like in the same vibe almost.
What's thrown with Jimmy all off season? You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah, I know.
They didn't get too much time.
And then, not to mention, I feel like
that makes it more impressive. Here on your end, it makes it more impressive.
It does. Because they still haven't got down option route stuff and like getting their body language in perfectly in sync, and that takes like years, 2 or 3 years to be honest. So it is impressive what they have been able. Him and Tate have been able to do together, and man, Puka is just. I don't know. Those hands have Velcro. They have super glue on them, and like we say, it's like Aaron Donald. It's like Aaron Donald. The amount of crazy catches where that catch in Carolina, where
it's every week. It's every
week. It is every
3 times every week.
It's every week.
He has 3 unbelievable catches every week.
I really thought that he caught that ball in Carolina and we were going to probably end up winning that game. It is just amazingly crazy how he just makes those, and you kind of don't question it anymore. You don't believe it, but like your brain is still catching up to the fact that he caught the ball.
Right.
Yeah, I really.
Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I really think that he has the best hands as a wide receiver in the NFL. He catches unbelievable catches. He catches contested catches. He's in the right spots. Maybe I would say maybe the route running is not always as crisp as some other players. That's probably maybe his
better.
negative side of that. He's gotten a lot better, but that's probably
He's
his
not
only
the
negative.
fastest.
He's not the fast, but he could catch anything, and he
Oh,
gets the ball and he still gets 5 to 10 yards because he can drag the players with him.
He's a running back. He's a running back when
Or
he gets the ball.
running back, tight end, like that dude is everything in one package.
I saw someone on Twitter say he was Troy Polamalu, like as a receiver, but with hands, and he just like runs through people, like just doesn't know when to go down. Just will run through a brick wall if he needs to. He's a football.
Yeah,
player,
like
you know what I mean?
when we think of that attempt in the Falcons game, like how many players can you say, like wide receivers we can remember that Stafford even attempts that the way he did and place that ball, and actually you're like, there's a good chance he could have caught that. Not many
some of
players.
them haven't counted. Some of them had taken back by a DJ Humphries, holding call. Some of them haven't counted. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it is
he had
what it is.
70 yards taken away too. Like,
Yeah, that dude's unreal. I think Puka. I mean, obviously, whatever. Blank check this offseason. Clearly,
he's
that's
gonna
another,
make so much money.
and that's another reason why we need to draft well in the quarterback or the corner room. Is because we're about to pay a lot of people, and we're not gonna have to draft well in that room. It's evident.
Before we move on to the defensive side of the ball, I kind of want to talk about our last offensive weapons. Let's talk about the running back room real quick. Obviously led by Kyron Williams. He did get past, the 1,000-yard rush. He ended up with 1,252 yards, 10 touchdowns. What was he averaging? Averaging 4.8 yards. Longest rush was 34. Did have 2 fumbles throughout the regular season, but otherwise he was pretty good. You compare that to his 2024 stats with 1,299, so just about 50 less than what he had before. But he did go up in averaging yards. He was 4.1 last year. He did have 14 touchdowns, so a little bit different. But we got Devontae Adams. I mean, last year, he was the reason why we were scoring points because he was amazing at getting us, the goal line touchdowns. This year, it hasn't been as big, especially in the previous games. But the biggest difference, I think, that's why this team has been successful in the running game is obviously bringing in Blake Corum and him being an actual piece to the puzzle. Coming in, he himself also had 746 yards. If you look last year, you couldn't even get the next person was Blake Corum with 207 yards. Everybody else under that had less than 100 who was on the rushing side of things. Blake Corum done a lot to this running back room.
Blake's
I was just gonna quickly add, Zach, that all that came with no double-digit attempts for Blake Corum until after week 6. So, like, all his yardage and stats really came after week 7, and like he got a few like high snap games, but he didn't get a lot of rushing attempts.
There's a potential we could have had 2,000 rush receivers or running backs.
Blake had an I think his yards per carry is pretty high, like well above average. I mean, you can see the explosiveness. Like some people will get them mixed, like the announcers get them mixed up a lot, but I can tell the difference immediately when like they hit the hole. Like I can see which ones. There's a different pace with Blake, and
he had a better average, 5.1 yards per carry.
His average is like 4.3, like NFL average. That's good, and he's 5.1. That's insane. So I mean, Blake's been the ability for them to like take the load off Kyron's kept him more fresh at the same time, and so but Kyron hasn't had to have that workload like in previous years. It's a good thing. It's because I think
he had
2 backs by committee. You know what I mean? Like I think it's necessary.
He had that long of 48 too.
Yeah.
along with
Yeah,
48.
he's more of a home run hitter in my opinion. Like I know they're both not known for that, but I think Kyron or Blake has more. Like he's shiftier. I think yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you need someone to get yourself a hard few yards, it's going to be Kyron. If you want to try to scheme it out and be a little bit more change the route midway, I think you kind of look more towards.
Right. And Blake's taking it like the next step in terms of like pass pro too. Like you got to be able to be trusted there so Matthew doesn't get his head taken off. But I mean, I think Blake's taking like massive strides, and you can,
Just got to work on pass catching.
yeah. Then luckily we don't throw to our backs that much because we have two, the best wide receivers in the league. And I mean, you can give that credit to Ron Gold, our running back coach, for kind of the evolution of those two in a way. And so, I mean, you want to hope that's a good future for Jarquez if we're staying in that room, but we'll see how that pans out. I mean, we're gonna take it back next year. I mean, we've taken it back every year for the last 7 years, so we're gonna take one.
Oh, quick question for you guys. Do you think they draft a running back this draft? I think they've done it every year for the last like 7-8 years. Are they going to draft a running back again?
Wait, are you asking me that, or are you asking Zach that?
I'm
We're
asking
asking
both
you.
of you.
Didn't I just answer that? I thought I just asked that.
Oh, yeah.
That's I said we drafted one for the last 7 years.
Yeah, so we wouldn't need one. But
we're going to.
Oh, yeah, because Snead only drafts what we need.
I mean, we probably don't need another tight end, but Sean McVay really wants another tight end, and he has a first round pick.
They're getting other tight end, man.
Well, it's
They're
Higbee's
getting
last
other
year.
tight end.
It's Higbee's last year. You got to.
Yeah.
I think it'll be down the line, though. I don't think it's high priority.
Yeah.
Especially with Parkinson back another year, and then Ferg. I mean, got a lot of personnel though. I mean, all of the tight ends, the backs, the receivers. I mean, that's all Les Snead. That's all Sean's staff for developing them. And I mean, that goes to what Zach and I were talking a little bit off air. It was about like the penalties and the lack thereof of penalties. It's like we've been like that for like the last 5 years. We've led the league in percentage of penalties, and so that culminates to like being a well-disciplined team, and Sean, the kind of enforcing that philosophy into his staff and then into their respective departments. And so I mean, you got to give a big credit to the boys upstairs for all that. And we got one of the best front offices in the league. Is why we're where we are.
Yeah, and a very young team that's gonna continue growing and stuff. But they're gonna start costing money. We have a lot of cap space,
a lot of cap space in draft picks.
Gonna start.
We love them picks, right?
Yes.
We'll
Flipping to the defensive side, where do you think that the defense needs to find its stride against this Carolina offense? And then, really, if we can get past this, moving on into the rest of the playoffs.
I'll start. The boys up front got to get home. Like, we got to get home or else it's going to be a long day. Because I'm pretty sure Carolina has, like, one of the tallest receiving rooms in the league. I think everyone's over, like, 6'3" or more with, like, Jalen Coker and Tet McMillan. And I think maybe the shortest one's probably that kid out of Colorado, Jimmy Horn Jr., but even he's still a hooper, like, we got to get home, man, and we got to – I'm not too worried about the run. I like where we're at with the run. But if we can't get home pass rush wise on a 4th and 3, you know what I mean? And we allow, I mean, you guys saw it front and center in that game. You saw, I mean, we had them 4th and 3, 4th and 4, 4th and 9. I mean, just home run shots, off the 4th and 9 or 4th and 3 because we play heavy box because we think we're running and our corners get beat because they're in man. That's what I'm worried about defensively, Zach. And if our pass rush kind of got home, it can't get home, then it might be it might be a shootout again. And I still like our odds there, but I want our defense to come and play. Like the year we won the Super Bowl, we beat the Cardinals in the divisional round like handedly, like 34 to like 13. I want to see that kind of I want to see like full 4 quarters, like Ashton was kind of talking about off air before we were talking. That's kind of what I want to see defensively, because we need to get back to that. I think defensively, like especially, and I think Q will help with that. I think Q will be a big help.
He'll definitely help out that secondary. Yeah, Ashton, what about you? What do you think are kind of the keys for our defense to get back into rhythm?
No, I definitely think the biggest thing again is like Dak said, it's the D line, and arguably one of their worst games combined with not getting pressure and not stopping the run. And we said this in the pod before that game. Their two best players dynamically with the ball in their hands are their running backs. And it was ironically one of the only games they have given both of their running backs like double digit attempts and like passes and screen passes. And this is a game that if you make it one dimensional, I don't see many ways the Panthers can win. But you gotta be, yeah.
We have to win.
Gotta shut down the run.
We got to shut down the run, but we have to stop with the turnovers. Obviously, the turnovers was the biggest reason why we lost that. 2 turnovers from Stafford, one of them a pick six.
Can't do that.
That is what really probably lost us that game. I mean, that's 7 points right there. And your defense, it's hard for your defense to recover that, to recover from, they kind of saved your butt for a long period of time, and then you throw a pick six, and now look where you're at. But I agree, they need to hit home, and they need to hit home fast, but not too fast, because they seem to be missing tackles, especially in the last several games, very, very easily. They just fly past, whether that's Jared Verse, whether it's, I don't think Byron Young's not usually the issue, but we see all the time where they're flying past and they miss the tackle, and then they get 10 more yards when they should have been, behind the sticks. And that's been happening over the last several weeks too. So they need to be able to clean that up a little bit.
Yeah, him and Kobe really struggle with just taking down the ball carrier. And it's running backs, quarterbacks, and it is frustrating as heck because the amount of negative yard situations other teams should be in comparatively to what they end up getting. It just does make a world of difference in the game, right? Just when someone turns something into 4 or 5 yards, when you're going to get them -3, like those 7 yards make all the difference with what coverages and what pressures you can call the next second down. Mm-hmm. So just finishing those, getting those sacks. Yeah. And the secondary holding up is going to be another big one. Late coming back, I think, really helps with some of the run blitzes that we try on some early first downs too, because our slot has really been struggling in the last 4 or 5 weeks for most of the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when it comes to, that game, it's pretty clear cut. I mean, if we get home, and stop their rush, it's all in the trenches. I mean, if it's going to be rainy, like you said, then it's all gonna start in the trenches, and we can't. I think they ran the ball really well on us. They made us. I think that was the first time we looked pedestrian against the run.
Mostly against Hubbard.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It wasn't even Donald wasn't even doing that much.
Would fall forward for 5 yards. They were getting 5 yards of carry, man, with both of them, regardless. And so if we can't stop that, it's gonna be hard, either way. And like I said, we had them in multiple 4th down situations where they got touchdowns off of them, and typically that's desperation ball. You know what I mean? If we execute better, those 4th downs those are going to be turnovers or punts, but I mean, I don't think I think it just comes down to execution. Really. I mean, that's all there
Mhm.
is to it. I mean, and credit to like they have a say too. Like their offensive line, like held up really well last time with some banged up players like at some positions, and so credit to them, sure. But I just think like it's a different. They're gonna see a different like team this weekend. I think like this ain't gonna be like the middle of the season anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
we definitely have to have the offense and the defense decide to show up at the same time in the same game, right? Like
Complimentary
multiple
ball,
games in a row. Yeah,
complimentary football.
complimentary.
They
And
know that.
and yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
no, and I mean again, like we also talk about, the our special teams just also needs to be on point. We haven't luckily had to
Mm.
um, say much about them, but they are going to be a big part of this game because one bad mistake could lead to
That's where the
a hell of a
tackling, you brought
mess.
up tackling earlier, and I think
Yeah,
like we've been
Mhm.
a really good team tackling wise, like, and a direct correlation with Q being out too. Like you saw, like our tackling get worse percentage wise. And I mean, in the Carolina game, we missed, or not in the Carolina game, but the Atlanta game, we missed like 20 plus tackles. And I mean,
which is
it's typically like single digits. Like last week was 8, and that's good.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
That's another thing that I think the Rams have improved on this season outside of the last few games than they have in previous seasons. We always said how terrible the tackling was. Obviously that was because we were led by Roseboom and Reader,
right.
and now we have Landman.
I
Kind of
think Chris
keeping things.
Shula and that staff helps too. I really do.
Yeah, and so that's just what we need to figure out. We got to make sure we tighten up every piece of the puzzle that we possibly can. Um, you know, if it's going to be raining, I bet you Sean McVay is going to be super conservative or not conservative. He's going to be super aggressive about not utilizing the kicking team and going to keep his men out there on the field.
You could see some. I don't know if like what the forecast. I know Ashton talked about it a little bit earlier. Like, but I don't know if it's gonna be off and on raining or what. But if it's 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, I mean, we saw the dude go forward in like 4th and 8 one or 4th and 9. I don't really remember what game that was, but I mean, we picked it up and led to.
I don't think we'll be kicking very far out if it's raining decently. I just don't think our
You
kicking
said
operation is good enough.
75%, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of it is between I was kind of looking and it looks like it's going to be kind of in that 4 to 7 range. So it could be while the game's going. Um, Obviously, it wasn't
That's gonna
supposed to
be the entire
rain.
game.
It wasn't really even supposed to rain all that much in our team, but it rained the whole time we were there, basically.
Yeah, basically.
that's why the tackling on special teams is going to be even more paramount to what Zach was saying earlier. You
Well,
know, like,
I was gonna point out Sean Dolak is out, and he's been a big special teams guy for us.
but Tanner Ingle has been elevated every week too, and he's been flying around on special teams. So,
Well, that's good. But if I see another punter throw a 28-yard pass, I'm going to choose some knees out or
I
something.
think that was like the first time we saw a fake punt all year. So I mean, I get like we got to be ready for it, at all times, and it was bad. But I mean, that's talk about desperation. I mean,
that was desperate. I mean, it was. I can't even. I gotta
you
go back
see
and
how
look at
these
the play.
teams go, like the way they treat 4th downs against us. Like you see it, like they have to. They have like they know that 7 points and like points off the drive is paramount. Is like
Yeah.
very important against us. And it's like if you don't get points, then we're gonna go like get points of our own, and then you might be screwed. You know.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's
when
cool to
we're
see someone
rolling,
like that on 4th down.
Who would have
when
thought
we're
4th and 8 on the Arizona 29 for a
Mhm.
The one you least
fake punt.
expect it, huh?
yeah.
I mean, when we're rolling, we're a team you legitimately need miracles and the Pope to come down, throw holy water on your field. You need to sacrifice some goats, and then like the rest will also call the game your way too. And that's what you really need when this offense is rolling and like the team is going.
Man, when you see us, like, you can really see us, like, kind of flip a switch. Like, you kind of saw it after the Jared Verse field goal block return for a touchdown. You kind of saw it, like, just kind of the offense came out, the defense came back out, got a stop, and then you can tell when there's like a click and like you can find like the sync between both of the units, and
But they have to get in trouble for that click to go off most of the time.
we need it to start like right away. You know what I mean? Like in the like Philly, we need 4 like quarters of a full game of Philly. You know what I mean? We need to start that way and end that way.
Yeah.
But easier said. Like the opponents have a say too. I get it, but I do think McVay tends to get a little passive aggressive when he is up like that. So maybe he's learned that when he is
I mean,
like that, he doesn't. He just should keep his.
Against the Seahawks, he wasn't passive. He was very aggressive. Like people forget this. He went for more passes than he did runs when we were up.
It's because he knows like that team can score too, and that their defense is good too. So it's like points. When like points matter more in certain games, and like so that dude knows. Like no one better.
Can't take 2-score leads for granted anymore. So
no, I almost get like worried a little bit when we get up by 10 or more. I almost feel better when we're like down 10.
Or we're just keeping it even. Like they score, we score, they score, we score. Like I feel a little bit more comfortable. I agree with you. I think that.
No, I'll take my double-digit scores.
No, I will too, but until proven otherwise. Like I've seen it happen multiple times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the confluence of events that had to go on, like, and I was saying this before, like on the live stream when I was watching the Seahawks game, the confluence of events that had to go together for the Seahawks to tie that game was legitimately statistically insane for it to happen. And the fact that we had the Eagles and the Seahawks do it in the same season, statistically itself is also insane. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where one little ball goes the other way, we win, but that's not how life works. And you got to make sure you learn from those situations to just execute just slightly better, slightly to the average.
Hey, if Mevis makes that field goal, you know what I mean? It's 33-30, and then we may not even go to overtime. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's a long season. You know what I mean? And crap happens, but I mean, we are where we are, and I'm not mad at the 5 seed. You know what I mean? Would I enjoyed the 1 seed? Sure, but everything. I just look back to the 2021 season in that November when we lost 4 straight, and then we kind of like went on a run after that. And so I mean, I don't see why we couldn't, like, we lost 2 straight, to like here recently, to Atlanta, and then whoever was before that. I can't really remember, but I think it was 2 losses in a row. Yeah, it was 2 because it was the Thursday night game and then the Monday night game, right? Yep. And then so I'd like to think like this Cardinals game was a little tune up here, for us to get kind of going, and I hope we can go on a run like that. Like I don't see why we couldn't. I think the team is better than that 21 team. Once, like Ashton's saying, if they put all 4 quarters together, that is, or even 3 and a half, mind you.
They're better. They're more healthy. I would say the O-line is slightly worse, but we have a far better run game, light years better run game. I would say the defensive line, this year's defensive line is, the D-line, I would say, is worse at stopping the run this year, but has a better pass rush overall.
I mean, we're not bad against the run, man. Like Poona Ford has been a massive
No, I know. I'm saying comparing 21 because that team was historically.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. They were good.
They were like number 1.
I think
basically
Ashton
when
Robinson.
Aaron
It
was Ashton and AD.
Right? Yep.
And I still think Brockers was
Greg
on the
Gaines.
team. Greg Gaines.
Yeah.
So
It's fun to compare those. Like that's why I have like positive optimism going because of the coach and the quarterback and like I think we're better defensively. Like way
our
better defensively.
secondary, I I
We
would
have
say I
block.
like our safeties more, but our cornerbacks are worse,
Yeah,
right?
we don't have a Jalen. You know what I mean? Even though Jalen was kind of on his way
He
out.
played bad that playoff run, to be honest.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. If we're
Um,
being honest.
an unsung hero of that 21 kind of corner secondary room is um Long. What was his name? Long Jr.
David
Forget
Long Jr.
David Long Jr. Yeah, on the final
Yeah.
play where AD got that sack, um, Burrow had like his first read was left, like a quick like slant, and it was taken away by David Long, and or else they would have picked up that first easily, and that made Burrow check to his second and third read across the field, which gave AD time. That's you'll hear Raheem kind of say David Long was kind of the unsung hero within that secondary room, but I definitely lean uh, our way on the safety room this year. That's for sure. But the front seven altogether is night and day. I mean, Troy Reader at linebacker that year was our best. Like, I mean, we got Spates and Landman. I mean, that's why I say it's better defensively, and offensively, it's, I mean, shoot.
Did you know that they have how many players? They have like 4 players that were on the Rams that actually also won the Super Bowl with us.
Who's this?
Crazy. The Cardinals or the Carolina
Panthers.
Yeah, a lot of turnover.
Or the Panthers, yeah.
A lot of turnover from that year.
Ashawn Robinson, Christian Noseboom, Nick Scott, all Super Bowl winners with us.
A lot of the staff too.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this offense is historically really good. I wouldn't say it's like historical elite. It is really good. We have our issues and like moments, but it is efficient and it's explosive. And then this defense is situationally good, but allows a lot of yardage. So it's like these are very comparable teams between 21 and this year. The only difference I would say is like in the critical big games, I will say Stafford hasn't been as clutch as we're used to seeing him, at least this year. Like in prior years, when he had opportunity to go down the field and finish a game, he's gone down and finished those games.
So can
And this
I'm gonna give
year,
a caveat to that
A rebuttal.
a little bit. My rebuttal would be remember like early on in Stafford's career, McVay had this weird record for a long time that he was if they had the lead at halftime, they won the game. There wasn't a whole lot of time, especially in the Super Bowl run, where they weren't leading and so they won. We haven't. It's really in like this past, like I said, this past year where we have actually seen the Rams come back basically from the dead in points against to make it a 3-point game. And we've not seen that before. And I think if we would have won those games, I think we would have had obviously a different tune. But coming back from sometimes a 14 to 21 point deficit is something we haven't seen in a Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford era. And they're finally pulling it off now.
It's definitely a silver lining.
True, and that's good. But my point is, in the final drive of those games, when we needed to go down and get touchdowns, we ended up not being able to of a good amount of those games.
Some of that was bad officiating.
With the 1 week that was the most important week of the season, and that's in Seattle, and it's into overtime, and we get the ball first, and we go, and Stafford leads us down to, I mean, just goes right down the field and hits Puka for that's clutch. And then what happens after that? Like but I get where you're coming from. He hasn't been in a whole lot of scenarios to have to kind of deliver in the clutch this year. Whereas opposed like last year, the previous years, he has had to come back. But
yeah, I feel like we've seen a lot of clutch drives, and they just ended, unfortunately, the wrong way. You look at the Atlanta game when he has the ball left, he has to air it out because there's only like 30 seconds left. And the Puka one, arguable, there's a lot of people who would argue with you that it should have been a catch. There was that slight movement, so they ruled it again. Fine.
Definitely came out of his hands, as I definitely saw, and it was right in front of the ref's face, dude. I get it, but it was
there was a slight lift of the ball. Got it. I mean, then you look at the Tutu Atwell one where that was pass interference.
Definitely PI.
Again, some people say, well, the refs couldn't run as fast as those two people. Like, well, I don't know what we're doing then of having refs and if they can't keep up with the players, but whatever.
Replay should be able to call that a flag. How this is not hard, people. We got
we tried that though. We tried to make pass interference reviewable, right? And then it was scrapped 1 year later.
So and give coaches a ultimate challenge where I've said this before.
It's overtime.
Like the UFL.
It's overtime. Only upstairs can review it.
Well, I mean, again, they should at least, if it happened in the regular part of the game,
gotta get it right.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you can't at least challenge that and have them look at it, then being like, "Well, we didn't call it on the field, so it doesn't count." Like,
especially when you have that game
like
every network has a rules analyst, and the rules analyst is even like, "Yeah." There were several times where the rules analyst was like, "Yeah, that was a pass interference call. Yeah, that was this. Yeah, that was that," and they never got called on the field. So it's like we can do this, we just don't.
And we also can't. But I guess to play devil's advocate, like at the same time, Jared Verse has to get Bijan Robinson on the ground for a tackle for a loss instead of taking one to the house for 93 yards. You know what I mean? So, like, I do like to bring we can bring up situations with the officiating for sure, like they matter, but like there are plays where we gotta be better that are impactful, that we can control too. You know what I mean? So
don't make the game close.
Yeah, we gotta control the controllables. You know what I mean, right? That like Old Boy says, and we can control tackling, we can control executing, we can control all that. We can't control the refs. You know what I mean? But I don't want to sound too cliche.
No, I agree. Like the technical stuff and the holding and all that, we do really good job of at least not hurting ourselves with those calls, which I'm proud of the team for doing.
DJ Humphries doesn't hold there in the Atlanta game. I mean, like we talked about earlier, that's a Puka touchdown. So it's
I know. Yeah.
I mean, we gotta execute better. I mean, if we don't execute come Saturday, then our asses are gonna be going to Cancun.
And if you lose to Carolina, like again, it's going to be one of those games they kind of deserve it.
Oh,
right?
If you go out this round, that's. I mean, the goal was to get to San Fran or at least the NFC Championship game. You know what I mean? Like, and if you go out against the Panthers in the divisional or the wild card, then that's definitely below expectations.
Well, we would be hosting San Fran, but yeah.
Well, I just mean the goal is to go to St.
Fran
to the Super Bowl. Like that's where the Super Bowl is.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Like it's in Santa Clara, so it's like the goal is to get there or the NFC Championship game. So it ain't to lose in the wild card to Carolina. So I mean,
and that's not an unreasonable expectation. This is at points a top 5 defense and top 5 offense.
No, absolutely. If anything, that's why it's a disappointment. Is because. I mean, this year we got the MVP under center, and then you lose in. I mean, that would not be good. That would not be good. But I don't want to even throw it out there, really.
No, first game though on the docket. Are you guys just a question of your viewing experience? I don't know if you guys watch other playoff games or not a good amount. Do you like being the first game on? Or do you like being the last game? I personally prefer first, but what's your kind of flavor there? Out of all the playoff games, like being the first to go.
I don't know if I necessarily care. I did hate that I had to drive to Detroit on a Sunday night. That was kind of brutal. I'd hated Sunday night
That was
playoff game.
It was like kind of like it did suck to like have to wait like all day. You know what I mean? Like I get what you mean. So I definitely, as a viewer, I think as a fan, like I'd like to get it like over with and be able like if we win, we can watch the rest of ball. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'd to answer your question, I'd say as a viewer, I'd rather be earlier than late. But I
Yeah.
mean,
I
if
think it
you're
would
the
probably be
coach
better
of the
at 10
team,
to Saturday
go up.
too.
Aren't we in the middle? Like we're the afternoon, right? So it's kind of
Yeah,
happy
we're the
medium.
first on Saturday, like 4 o'clock,
Because
and
there's
then
two
there's
games, right? Is
yeah,
there a
Saturday night, and then Sunday midday, and then Sunday night, and then there's a Monday night game
is it the Packers and the Bears that night? I don't
tomorrow
know.
or Saturday. I
Yeah,
do
I'm not
not
sure who else
remember.
plays on the docket like with us that day.
It is the Packers and Bears at night, and then Saturday midday or around noon is Bills Jags, and Eagles 49ers play Sunday night.
Well, I sure hope we show up and play, and because I mean, if we're the first game kicking off the playoffs, I mean, a lot of eyes are going to be watching, and I can't stand when we don't perform in prime time. I cannot stand it because every time we get like these primetime games when we play like play like Dookie, like it's embarrassing, man. It's like
I I've been told actually this year people have looked forward to watching the Rams because they've been great games. We just lost all of them.
right. And as a Rams fan, you just end up on the shitty, like the crappy end. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm definitely
Well,
looking
that's
forward
playoff
to
talk.
it. Execution.
Do
That's all it comes down to. That's my
do
one word for you
we
guys.
do we want to project who we think is going to win every game? You want to do that, Zach? You're shaking your head.
You know I hate predictions.
Let's just do. I mean, we could do a prediction for this game, or like our game, but outside of that,
Zach loves predicting our games. He's so good at it.
I don't say I'm not good at it.
it can
I
be
just hate
bad
it.
juju.
It feels
Like it can be
it
like
feels the bad juju. Yeah, I'm the bad juju kind of thing.
I
Because
get
every
it.
time, like, it goes back into like the last few weeks where it was like we wanted all these teams, we needed these teams to win for a team to get in, or for them not to be. And like outside of the San Francisco Seattle game, everything else went the opposite direction of what I wanted it to do. So I'm out.
You're out.
I'm just glad we got.
I would
Jay
like to
back.
see Buffalo win. I would like to see probably New England win. I'd probably like to see Houston
Nope.
win.
Wait. You want to see Buffalo win over the Jags? I would say I don't want to see Josh
I
Allen.
like Josh Allen. I
like
Josh
him,
Allen.
but you want to see Josh Allen over the Jags.
Yes.
I'd love to see Justin Herbert beat the Patriots. Love it. Would love it.
Chargers cannot win a playoff game to save their lives.
Yeah, I know that.
There might be two fired hardballs by the end of this.
And their O line is like just to tatters. The Chargers
Yeah, the
O-line
fact
is
that
beat
they're
the
even
heck.
like where they are with that,
It's
with that
impressive.
line. Yeah, having your tackles go down like that, we certainly wouldn't be in that position. Or I don't know, it'd be tough sledding without Alaric and well,
They're
luckily
used
we had McClendon, but still, it would
But
be
we
tough.
wouldn't have to face any of those AFC teams unless they got to the Super Bowl. So first week, I would say I would be Buffalo, New England.
Yeah,
and
I only
Houston.
say that about Herbert because I want to see all the Patriots fans kind of cry a little bit.
Well, that would be fun too. But
But I mean,
I always say like I actually like Purdy if he wasn't on the 49ers. I just hate the 49ers so much that I can't stand them.
Yeah, it's the fans. It's always the fans. I don't really care about the players. Like Matthew said after Detroit, like I'm happy for the players. I mean, but you're not happy for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the 49ers take it
We're talking
in
about
Philly?
bases that are some clowns. Like we got some clown fan bases that we're talking about right now with Philly and
See,
San Fran, and I mean we don't need to get into it, but I mean though these dudes are bad.
we just need the 49ers or Packers to win if we don't want to travel, at least in divisional. So, like,
I think the Packers could win, but they're not playing the best like good ball.
you think it's more likely than the Niners beating the
No,
Eagles? Really?
I think the Niners could go and beat them. I really do. I really do.
Hmm.
I mean, it's gonna have to be like a shootout, I think, but for them,
The Packers have looked bad the last few weeks.
yeah, and
They
but
lost to the
Chicago
Browns.
isn't like Chicago didn't look that great last week either against Detroit.
Did they lose to the Browns? I think they did. Yeah, they lost to the Browns and tied the Cowboys. Packers are a weird team. I know they have a lot of injuries.
Yeah, they're getting back Love and Watson, right? So I mean, that should help quite a bit.
I mean, you would hope they have their starting quarterback in the playoffs, but they lost to the Vikings. That's not good.
Yeah, regular season.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see who comes to play.
Yeah, they're on a 4-game losing streak. The Packers are going into the wild card. That's not good.
Not looking pretty. I
No,
mean, I don't.
no,
I
but
think,
like,
I think
where
the Niners
they're
could
not
go
much
into the
better.
link and play all right. I think they could definitely make it a game.
I mean, the Eagles' defense is what's really carried that team. Their
they've
offense
gotten
is
a lot better since Jalen Carter got back. They've gotten a lot better. That's the team. Like when they're hot, like that's the team you don't want to see, obviously. But I think we could see them in the NFC Championship for real.
I mean, they've had like only 2 or 3 good games all season offensively.
Yeah, it's just like when they put it together, though. Like they just got the pieces, but I think they can be schemed out. Like their defense keeps them in the game. You get what I mean? And so, I think their offense is like beatable. Obviously, like I think we showed it the first half, and we just gotta replicate it. I think we're fully capable.
And not collapse.
I think we've like there's no other team in the NFL that showed like that we there's no one that we can't beat. You know what I mean? Like
there's no one that's top tier on offense and defense besides us and the Seahawks. Those are the only 2 teams that have like
and
you
we can
could say elite on both sides. We should have beat them twice. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. And it's a good thing we didn't beat them twice because it's hard to beat any team 3 times, and we might see them. You know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, a team that is first in passing yards, first in points for, we definitely should be able to rack up some points against, this
execution.
team. It's all about execution.
The big E word, execution. If we don't do that, it's going to be tough sledding.
Yep, for sure. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of the East Coast Rams podcast. Dak, thank you so much for joining us this week.
No, thank you
definitely
guys.
Great having you on. It's been a long time coming, but I'm glad.
Yeah, I know we tried. I know I wasn't. I should have just came into the airport with you, and we could have done the episode right there after week 2. But yeah, I'm glad you guys were able to have me on. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Ashton, what are your plans?
No.
Are you traveling to Carolina? You're the closest amongst us.
Yes. First off, I appreciate.
Hopefully not with that record, with that regular season record this year.
Hey, I'm 5-2 overall. Okay,
that's fine. That's good.
I doubt Stafford will throw a 3rd pick 6 with me watching. Okay.
Are you going though? Are you actually going?
I got military service this weekend and 4 o'clock, 2-hour away drive. Probably won't work out given my bosses.
Right.
So I probably would have been able to go if it was the 8 o'clock game. So I was hoping for Saturday at 8. Got the Saturday part, didn't get the 4 o'clock. So we'll see. I can't completely rule it out, but I doubt I'll be able to convince my boss. So, it is what it is.
Ticket prices did drop from the second day or the first day that it was available. They were like $500 for nosebleeds, and they're down to like, I saw some for less than $2. So,
Oh yeah, I haven't even thought about the price. That's
Wow.
also like that hurts me because I went to my first primetime game this year too, and that was it wasn't too bad, but again, like I am very blessed to be able to go to these games because they are expensive. It is worth the money though. It's a lot of fun. Even though like we get out of the game and my wife, I've gone with my wife 4 games, and she's more angry than me after the losses. She was fuming, just like upset, angry. So like if I did go and I took her, I would hope for my sake after on the drive home, like they win, just for like so she's not angry.
yeah,
You guys are adorable. Young love.
All right. Well, you can follow Dak. You can follow them. They're down there. You can see where his tag is. So
Right
please make sure you give them a follow on X. You can find us on X as well at East Coast Rams. You can find us on Threads or Instagram at East Coast Rams Pod. You can find me at Zach Mayer. You can find Ashton at RamFanAshton1. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/at East Coast Rams. You may be watching us right now. We appreciate everyone who jumps into our chat. We love to have a fun conversation either with our special guests or with our crew in the chat. So yeah, just appreciate everyone who joins in each and every week. We appreciate you all. You can also find us on Spotify after the fact, or Apple Music. I believe we're there as well, right, Ashton?
Yep,
Maybe.
we're everywhere we can be.
So yeah, just make sure you guys give us a like and subscribe. 5-star us in reviews. That'd be very helpful. We hope for a Rams win this weekend against the Carolina Panthers. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. The Rams are going to show up. They're going to give everything that they got this week, and we just cannot wait to continue to support this LA Rams team. So with that, we are out. We will see you guys next week on the East Coast Rams Pod. See you guys.